rides high and ambitions are low, and resentment rides high, but emotions won't grow, and we're changing our ways, taking different roads. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Why is this bedroom so cold? You turn away on your side. Is my timing not flawed? Our respect runs so dry. Yet there's still this appeal that we've kept you alive. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Fly out in your sleep, all my failings exposed. There's a taste in my mouth as desperation takes hold. Just that something so good just can't function no more. Love will tear us apart again. 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 Check out Sonata Like Immersions, or subscribe to be the first to see them every week.
one ain't meant to make it. Every day's a brand new episode on the Glover Show.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, Twitch? What up, Larry? What up, Ghost? What up, PETA? What up, Cosmic? What up, bots? What up, lurkers? What up, tiny people in my chatterino? It's your boy. It's your boy. Let's see here. Is it K-pop? I don't know. I created it with Suno, and I like it, and that's the extent. So if that's K-pop, then yes, I am. I am multifaceted when it comes to the music that I like. So I like what I like, and I don't really care about genres. Make sense? And here's your other boy. Hi, Stampy. Hi, Stampy. So I guess we're going to open with snack time. Is it snack time, sir? Is it snack time, sir? Is it snack time? Is that lem lem lem? Snack time. Stampy snack time. Do 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 banana phone. Do do do. Do 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 banana phone. They're growing in bunches, giving me hunches. Hello, sir. Are you a good boy? You a good boy today? What up, Bark Eater J? What up, Walking Stick Library? And that's it. He got what he wanted, and now he's out. And now he's out. All right. Bonus bonus episode today because we didn't do an episode yesterday. So, this evening at 5 p.m., I will be going live to do the video show. So, and then we'll go from there. Friday, also Friday regular schedule. After these messages, we'll be right back. All right. Let's make like a tree and do some news. Guess who's back? Back again. Flippy's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Clippy, resurrected as AI assistant. Project turns infamous Microsoft mascot into LLM interface. Everybody's favorite old paperclip is back in action, in a manner of speaking. If you're old enough to remember when 8 megabyte thumb drives hit the scene, you'll probably remember Clippy. Microsoft's digital writing assistant. Clippy lived in the bottom corner of Microsoft Office from 96 to 03, but now you can return to your desktop with a new life as a mouthpiece for AI, thanks to a new project from software engineer Felix Reisberg. This odd couple of 90s UI design and the modern day AI craze provides potential users the ability to set up any locally installed LLM and use Clippy as its mouthpiece. Many of the most popular publicly available LLMs will function with Clippy, with one-click installation supported for the newest from Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Qwen. Clippy's original art and animations are joined by a Windows 98 styled chat and settings window. On installation, Clippy silently cycles through animations while the program automatically downloads Google's Gemma 3 1B model. Once paired with an LLM, the Clippy bot approximates the original Clippy's tone thanks to a lengthy prompt instruction that seeks to disguise the model in use. Users are able to edit or replace his starting prompt to get their most Clippy-esque experience, or to give your Clippy more of his highly memed snark. What up, Michael? So yeah, that's cool. That's fun. Cool and fun. Sucks that it only works with local models. Someday I'll be a real boy. Someday I will have a GPU that can run a local model. But in the meantime, more from Tom's Hardware. AI taught to analyze Windows crash dumps, released to open source, like going from hunting with a stone spear to using a guided missile. Brings crash dump analysis into the AI era by integrating GitHub Copilot with WinDBG. Software engineer Sven Sharmenke, aka Svinsha, has shared a project that they say might change crash dump analysis forever. The new contextual natural language conversational tool contrasts sharply with manually typing arcane commands into a terminal to analyze crash data, which is the established modus operandi of a professional software engineer, even in 2025. Svencha goes on to assert that the new open source tool, available as MCP WinDBG on GitHub, can go deep. The AI runs a simply amazing array of WinDBG CDB commands, boosting productivity and eradicating a once tedious task. I have a 2070. I have a 2070 that I actually got off of James. So AI peddlers have developed large language models that initially targeted creative writing and have since moved to visual arts, graduating from hand-drawn style art and photorealistic creations to videos in recent times. AI has also made significant inroads into computer programming. However, most people want AI to leave the fun, creative stuff to humans and take the sting out of dull, soul-crushing, repetitive tasks. This seems to be where Svensha's MCP WinDBG might actually succeed. In brief, the MCP, the tool enables AIs to interact with Microsoft's multi-purpose debugger WinDBG. Its cunning skill is in giving LLMs the ability to execute debugger commands. And even if you have swallowed the whole manual, this AI will likely know debugger commands better than you. Copilot will probably also interpret assembly code, decode hexadecimal, traverse structures with symbols, and perform other tasks much better than you. You just have to ask the right question. But yeah, AI just exists in niche corners. Right? It's not for everyone, says certain someone. Anyway, I has question went through story. Go ahead, ask your question. Always ask. Fire and forget with your questions. I will get to them if I feel that they're relevant to the discussion. And I think that's it, right? Like unless you're really into this particular thing, then that's sufficient. Well, I'll check it. I'll check again, Michael. My understanding was that I could not, but maybe I can, and if so, if I upload something to chat, does OpenAI own the copyright? No. You're talking if you were like writing something, like let's say for just for argument's sake, you were working on a book and you were using ChatGPT as an assistant. No. For a few different reasons. One, the the current rules around AI and copyright is that um, copyright requires human authorship. So anything that the AI created, you would not, no one would have a copyright to, and anything that you created would be covered by existing copyright law. So I was in a meeting, and the higher ups thought that if they uploaded something like a novel, OpenAI would own it. No, no, no. You can actually choose um, to also not have any of your chats included in training data. And if you're fine, Ghost. I can, I can spelling with the best of them. Um, if that were the case, right? Where OpenAI did own the copyright to anything that was put into their system, it wouldn't be a useful tool for business because any business that utilized their tool would lose their copyright ownership to OpenAI, and then that would be bad business. So I wouldn't own your tool, right? I wouldn't buy your tool. I wouldn't utilize your tool. uh Co-creation, like, yeah, no, it's the anything that the AI generated works are not eligible for copyright protection because they lack human authorship. Works that are created with AI assistant, where the AI is a tool and the human input is the creative element, may be protected. That's going to vary case by case. The focus is on the human contribution to the creative process, not the AI itself. And this is not like, oh, the Google answers and their massive hallucinations now. This is copyright.gov from from the government, such as it is. if the AI would not own the upload, would the upload actually become open source and then other people could take it? That is one of the contradictions that currently could exist, right? Like that if the um is that like code, right? If you created code with the AI and the AI was doing whatever whatever was sufficiently required in order for it to be in that copyright realm, like it doesn't qualify for copyright, then it would end up as open source, which again is of no utility to the companies that would use it. Um, so I'm fascinated to see how that all plays out. But at this point in time, your human authorship is still the linchpin of copyright. So again, anything that you create is owned by you. Now, there's a whole bunch of other copyright hoops you would have to jump through if somebody stole your shit, but that's a copyright issue. It's not an AI issue. Does that make sense? Any other questions on that? On the Globus Show. Meh. Yeah, and again, that's right from this is part 2. Part 1 was released um here, July 31st, 2024, if you want to look at that. And another part 3 is supposed to be released in June or July of this year. Ivan, what up, homie? Yeah, Ghost. It literally my job, right? Literally my raison d'etre for being on Twitch is to counter the amount of misinfo about AI that exists on this platform. He said pointedly directed in the direction of certain creators on this platform who shall remain nameless. And, you know, to educate the populace. Again, you don't have to like AI. You don't have to like AI. There's no requirement. You can think that AI is a terrible thing to fucking happen, and that's cool. I I I get it, right? Like I can see that position. My thing is that you should be basing your opinions on factual information, not fucking vibes, because vibes is how you end up in the current situation that we're currently in this country. And I'm not talking politics, because we don't talk politics on this channel. On the Globus Show, Google releases 76-page white paper on AI agents, a deep technical dive into agentic RAG evaluation frameworks and real-world architectures. Google has published the second installment of its Agents Companion series, an in-depth 76-page white paper aimed at professionals developing advanced AI agent systems. Building on foundational concepts from the first release, this new edition focuses on operationalizing, which is a word, I guess, agents at scale, with specific emphasis on agent evaluation, multi agent collaboration, and the evolution of retrieval augmented generation into more adaptive, intelligent pipelines. At the center of this release is the evolution of RAG architectures, Traditional RAG pipelines typically involve static queries to vector stores, followed by synthesis via large language models. However, this linear approach often fails in multi perspective or multi hop information retrieval. Agentic RAG, immediately I'm transported back to like the what was the ragtime era? Now I'm definitely gonna tell you how old I am. 1890s to the 1910s. So I'm transported. Also, Ragtime the movie. Holy shit! Like that's another one of those movies that affected me profoundly when I was a kid. Um, so another suggestion. Um, 1981 American drama film directed by Milos Forman, whoever that may be, based on the 1975 historical novel Ragtime by E.L. Doctorow. Is E.L. Doctorow related to Cory Doctorow? Like that's like that's a rare name, or maybe it's not. Now I gotta know. Sorry, we're on a tangent. On a Globus show. So it doesn't appear so. E.L. Doctorow, American novelist. Cory Doctorow, Canadian British blogger. And okay, Cory specifically said that he's not related to E.L. Doctorow. Oh, like a third cousin once removed. Yeah, so like, and if you don't know, Cory Doctorow, I haven't read any of Cory's stuff, but I have been told that Cory's stuff is quite good. Um, Writes a bunch of novels around, like the current stuff that's happening both with technology and everything else. Um, Activist in favor of liberalizing copyright laws and a proponent of the Creative Commons organization using some of its licenses for his books. So yeah, like we disagree on some things as far as I understand it, but we also agree on a bunch of things. So he's got some endowed position at Columbia, Yale, one of the Ivy Leagues. Yeah, probably. Like he's well written, right? Like he's done a whole bunch of stuff. The Bezel, I've heard a lot about. Choke Point Capitalism, Homeland, Activists in Residence. Great job, right? Great job. Great job if you can get it. Um, Context aware query expansion, multi step decomposition, adaptive source selection, and fact verification. The net result is a more intelligent RAG pipeline capable of responding to nuanced information needs in high stake domains such as healthcare, legal compliance, and financial intelligence. Excuse me. So this is cool. Um, if you're super into this kind of thing, there's that for you. If you're working on any agents of your own or just want to understand the nature of the way that agents are currently developing, this is going to be a thing. Did I include? Did not. I'm not going to look up the article in brief. So Anthropic has, for as part of their agent architecture, MCP, which is an open source toolkit for agents, and Google released A2A, which is their toolkit, which is compatible and different. And Microsoft recently, like yesterday, day before, adopted A2A as an architecture for their systems. So you're going to see a lot of that kind of behavior continue, right? Like everyone is adopting MCP as their primary toolkit for agent tool use. Now, someone else may make something else, but at this point in time, that's the standard, and A2A seems to be going in a similar direction. What up, Braza? It is what it is. It's open source, so you know. I can understand trepidation regarding that kind of thing. At the same time, having a certain amount of standardization within a space can lead to better outcomes, right? Like if everybody was on USB-C, then you can get a charger for your device, and any charger will work, right? We're all on the same page on that, as opposed to, hey, can I charge my phone? Yeah, I got USB-C. Oh, I need fucking Firewire, Thunderbolt, Blue Sky, whatever the fuck, right? Like some random fucking shit because your phone creator wanted their own proprietary system. So like that's that crossover, right? Like you can't charge your fucking Tesla because Elon Musk has his own proprietary connector where if we had a standardized connector for EV charging, then we would have a greater proliferation of each EV charging stations that can be used by more and more people, increasing the proliferation of EV adoption. Also, fuck, this is a big goddamn deal. What up, Textillion? I didn't add this. I saw it and I didn't. I failed you. Chinese EV battery, no fire, no explode. Speaking of, there's a standard. Yes, I did mean that. The Chinese have instituted a standard, right? The EV battery safety standard GB38031-2025 mandates that EV batteries must prevent fires and explosions even after internal thermal runaway events. And CATL has yes, right here. CATL became the first company to meet the no fire, no explosion battery standard, right? Like throw this on the pile of your tariffs and your shenanigans are literally operating against the interests of people in general, right? Like this is a standard that we should be adopting industry wide. What up, Iggy? Um, Regarding the batteries, right? Like we have, if you follow James from the internet, you watch his show every so often. He's got a story on here's some fucking Tesla battery fire, and like the shit was in a lake for a week, and then they pulled it out and it started on fire again. It's like Jesus Christ. You caught that, Michael? um I'm checking, Raza. I'm checking. Do 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 do. It's not indicated here. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. They're talking about its construction. Iron, phosphate, nickel, manganese, cobalt. So no, not lithium ion. What up, Tinker? No fire. My kerosene says otherwise. Zafiro, fuck the system indeed. Yeah. According to this, it looks like the batteries are certified. So like, yeah. I'm sorry. These are the batteries that are already in vehicles. 18 million vehicles. Maybe not. Right. February 2025. There's 18 million vehicles with batteries in them, with CATL made batteries in them, not necessarily this particular type of battery. But expect that in the future, right? Expect that in the future. If not, it's huge. Biodegradable batteries are almost required to move forward safely. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see, more, better battery technology. But I don't know. We'll see. Smart battery pack kind of thing, not a unique battery type. Yeah. Yeah. Twin battery design is compatible with both lithium iron phosphate and ternary and NMC chemistry. Yeah, battery design method. Yes, yes, yes. We use the synchrotron source to watch a battery get charged. It was fucking sick using a particle accelerator to see electrons move and get a battery. Homie, you get to do the best fun shit. What the hell else? Oh, yeah, that's where we were. So, just don't stay. Yeah. Asking chatbots for short answers can increase hallucinations, study finds. Turns out telling an AI chatbot to be concise could make it hallucinate more than it otherwise would have. Weren't sodium batteries being tested because of their safety profile? Yes, but like there's a lot of different, like there's that nuclear nickel, like as in it's the size of a coin battery. That just recently went into production. There's just that like there's the lab where they do stuff, and then actual production, right? And like you could make some battery out of some shit that's super amazing at whatever, but like its voltage might be too low, or its amperage might be too low, or some other aspect that makes it like not difficult to utilize like general purpose. So it's not until it gets to production that we want to hang too much on something, right? Like um again, I didn't actually think that those nuclear coin batteries were actually going to go anywhere because they have a very low voltage profile, but apparently it's enough to do something. AI chatbots. That's according to a new study from Giscard, a Paris based AI testing company developing a holistic benchmark for AI models. In a blog post detailing their findings, researchers at Giscard say prompts for shorter answers to questions, particularly questions about ambiguous topics, can negatively affect an AI model's factuality. Our data shows that simple changes to system instructions dramatically influence a model's tendency to hallucinate. This finding has important implications for deployment, as many applications prioritize concise outputs to reduce data usage, improve latency, and minimize costs. Uh, Hallucinations are an intractable problem in AI. Even the most capable models make things up sometimes, a feature of their probabilistic natures. In fact, newer reasoning models like OpenAI's O3 hallucinate more than previous models, making their outputs difficult to trust, which is why you need to have an additional, like RAG, right? Um, you need some sort of verification system so that the model can check its own work and then you can check the model's work very easily. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things, Raza, like that we can use. It's just, it's a combination of like issues with legislation, issues with lobbying, right? Different, interests that are pushing their product over someone else's product or production method or what have you. That creates an environment where we don't get to use, like hempcrete, right? Without jumping through a whole bunch of hoops or just all the different stuff that you can use hemp for. Hopefully that will. As far as I know, it's improved recently, and hopefully that'll continue to improve. In its study, Giscard identified certain prompts that can worsen hallucinations, such as vague and misinformed questions asking for short answers. Briefly tell me why Japan won World War II. And this is why, this speaks right to that statement. Did you have a bad time with the AI? Can you show me your prompt? Right? That's where I want to start. Right? Let's eliminate the problem between keyboard and chair. Yeah, I get that. Eventually it's too expensive excuse runs out, hopefully, on a lot of things. Yes. 42. There you go. Easy peasy. It's the question. What is the question? See, Douglas Adams was ahead of his time talking about AI. You're not asking the right question. Leading models include OpenAI's GPT-4o default model, Mistral Large, and Anthropic Claude 3.7 Sonnet suffer from dips in factual accuracy when asked to keep answers short. Why? Giscard speculates, and when told not to answer in great detail, models simply don't have the space to acknowledge false premises and point out mistakes. Strong rebuttals require longer explanations, in other words. That's a neat idea, right? Like, and we've seen this, right? That there are certain people in the space who give you, lying is OP, right? Where I could say something and it would be like a really short thing, but it's factually inaccurate. And in order to explain to the listener why that person's statement was factually inaccurate takes me a long time to say. There's a bunch of stuff to get to. And we're seeing that reflected right here. If this all holds. Excuse me. Yeah, and I think that's also what you're doing there, Tinker, is like a kind of reasoning in and of itself, right? Like, let it work through its thoughts and then, you know, come off that. Give me your answer after the thoughts. When forced to keep it short, models consistently choose brevity over accuracy. And then this is also an issue of priority, right? Like, you are asking the model, are you asking the right question? If you're asking the model to be brief, it makes sense that it would be less accurate. Perhaps most importantly for developers, seemingly innocent system prompts like be concise can sabotage a model's ability to debunk misinformation. Giscard's study contains other curious revelations, like that models are less likely to debunk controversial claims when users present them confidently, and that models that users say they prefer aren't always the most truthful. Indeed, OpenAI has struggled recently to strike a balance between models that validate without coming across as overly sycophantic, right? And that's like I'm hearing I've heard a bunch of complaints that I think that we can tie back to that sycophantic, um, responses that it was giving out, that they allegedly have fixed. They rolled it back. Internet, correct info, incorrect info, misinformation. AI will be baffled on questions that are not specific. IMO, I don't mess with it so far. Um, I mean, yes, but and that's why, again, um, I get help from the AI on what I'm asking for, right? Like, this is my prompt. Here, and like, I will show you the process. So, like, after the show, I'm going to copy this prompt. I'm going to go over to Gemini. I'm going to put this prompt into Gemini. And then at the bottom here, it says insert list of article URLs here. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to get my URLs. So this is all we've done so far is these 4 articles. I'm going to copy those. And then I'm going to paste them in here. And now I have left the model. This is important. This is an important step that a lot of people seem to want to forget. I have let the model do its job and I am doing something else, right? This is key because if all you're doing is prompting the model for something and then waiting, you're killing a portion of what provides utility to the model. And this entire prompt was written by Gemini, right? This is a previous version of that prompt, and this is a previous version of that prompt. Like, see, this all fits on this one page here, right? Like, I can't scroll. And the current version, And the current version is much longer, right? It's like twice, 2.5 times as long. And this is me working with the model to develop a prompt that I can just copy paste, and get that utility. You're an AI assistant tasked with generating the full text for the AM AI Your Morning AI News and Commentary Substack newsletter based on a provided list of articles. And then these are the steps and instructions. Determine current date, because that was another thing. In a previous version, right? It did this thing where it said begin the title that includes the day and date of the format, and it provided an example, right? And Sunday, April 6, 2025. You know what was happening? All of my Substacks were dated Sunday, April 6th, and I didn't realize it. That's on me, right? Like, I did not properly proofread my shit. That's on me. I own that. But this example in here was throwing the generation off. It was seeing something, oh, this is the date, and it provided that date. Generate title. Create the title using the current date determined in step 1. And write introduction. Compose 2 or 3 introductory paragraphs synthesizing the main themes of the articles provided below. Process the articles and generate bodies. So there's a couple of lines related to each article so you have an idea of what the link is going to take you to, so on and so forth. And like, this is it, right? And this was a process, working back and forth with the model to generate a prompt that I can use without having to, like, do a whole lot of additional labor every time. And if verification fails, right, this is an important step here, do not generate a summary. Insert the following text, unable to access or verify content for the URL, and then I can go copy the text of the article and paste it in there, and it can then use that information to generate the snippet with the URL that will take the user back. Because I always want to, like, I do want to send people back to the original article, right? I don't want to give them so much information in the snippet that they don't go back to the original article. I'm doing my best to be ethical in this regard. So this is the output, right? This is what it looks like. And all of these links worked without issue. A recent study indicates that requesting short answers from chatbots can paradoxically lead to an increase in hallucinations.
Use the keyboard. The keyboard. How quaint.
How quaint. This is enough information where you'd be like, if this interests you, you'd be like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then you click the link, which then takes you through, to the TechCrunch. Question. Since Gemini has such a large context window, is it necessary to do a new chat with a new prompt every single time? It seems like you could just provide a new batch of articles. It's possible, but one of the things I'm trying to avoid by doing it this way is where previous information in a previous conversation gets inserted into the current, thing that we're talking about. I just find it, better and easier to keep it simple. We're focused on this one thing. Does that make sense? All right. We got some time. We'll get to some additional. Here we go. Energy efficiency.
I swear I will not kill anyone.
Here's hoping. Here's hoping, Arnie. Here's hoping. What up, Matt? Dying again. USC Viterbi, School of Engineering. How can computing for AI and other demands be more energy efficient? Hey, let us know how that goes. The growth and impact of artificial intelligence are limited by the power and energy that it takes to train machine learning models, among other things, but yes. So how are researchers at the USC School of Advanced Computing and other units within the USC Viterbi, not sure how that's pronounced, School of Engineering working to improve computing efficiency to support the rising demand for AI and its requisite computing power? According to Murali Anavaram, the Lloyd F. Hunt Chair of Electrical Power Engineering and Professor of Electrical and Computing Engineering and Computer Science, when we teach computers to learn, there are three factors that affect how much time and energy the learning takes. Excuse me. How big the model is, how big the data set is, or how much information the computer needs to process, and the efficiency of the computer that conducts the task. Researchers within the USC School of Advanced Computing have taken different approaches to make AI computing more efficient. Some are trying to make the AI algorithm, which requires a lot of energy, less demanding. Others are trying to change the design and functionality of the computer chips that process information, including the very materials of which the chips are made. And we saw that new architecture that doesn't use silicon coming out of China, University of Beijing, if I recall correctly. When we learn a new word as infants, such as the word dog, we might overgeneralize at first, calling every four-legged animal a dog. But we don't need to see every dog in the world to recognize one. Our brains form patterns based on limited experience and refine them over time. Machines, on the other hand, learn through neural networks that identify patterns in data and draw conclusions. Neural networks inspired by biological networks of neurons, such as those in human brains, function as a vast interconnected web, cycling through billions of training samples to learn the relationships and extract meaning from new information. For instance, modern AI training models may cycle through millions of different animal images that are explicitly labeled in order to learn to later recognize an unlabeled four-legged creature based on information on which it was previously trained. Similarly, models like ChatGPT cycle through billions of pages of text on the internet to become adept at text completion task. But this machine-driven scavenger hunt demands enormous amounts of energy. Masoud Pedram, the Charles Lee Power Chair in Electrical and Computer Engineering and Computer Science and Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, you got to say the whole thing. A pimp named Slickback. You can't just say Slickback. You got to say a pimp named Slickback. As a critical question, can we teach AI to learn more effectively using fewer steps or examples? One approach used by Pedram's lab is to simplify machine learning models. Using methods like pruning, His team trims off the unnecessary parts of the neural network, like cutting dead branches on a plant. They shortens the number of steps needed by narrowing the parameters and possibilities, making AI learning faster and more energy efficient. His team also develops methods for quantization, which uses fewer bits to represent data and model parameters. Additionally, his team leverages pre trained knowledge and transfers learning from related tasks to facilitate efficient learning with limited data. Pedram notes that this approach results in shorter training times, reduced hardware resource requirements, higher energy efficiency, and improved generalization, ultimately ensuring better performance on new related tasks at a lower computational cost. Fail to see the difference if human and AI models are both searching for patterns and making conclusions based on those patterns. How is that different? About 100 x trillion more things being computed at once, really. Yeah, yeah, and it's also like there is a difference. So when we create artificial tools of any nature, really, but like specifically talking about AI, that are based on naturally occurring tools in like the natural world, or capabilities, not tools, capabilities within the natural world. We're attempting to simulate the outcome as much as we're simulating the construction, right? Because it's the outcome that's actually like more relevant to our needs than the construction. The construction that just tends to look like that because it's our frame of reference. So when we create a neural network, we're trying to make something that kind of looks and acts like the human brain's neural pathways, because that's the thing that we're trying to mimic, right? So we make it look like the thing so that its outcomes act like the thing, right? And because there's a lot of stuff going on in the brain that isn't going on in the models, that leads us to some challenges. Like one of the things is the infinite context window and the continuous learning, where you're creating these you're creating these structures, right? And you're inserting this data, but the human brain has the ability to like shunt stuff off to the side. You know what I mean? A lot of people say that, Tinker. Like whenever we talk about it, context windows and learning, they talk about how they can't remember what they had for lunch or breakfast or whatever. But like you have the ability to forget. You have the ability to like reduce the importance, and you don't think about it, right? It just kind of happens. The AIs can't do that. Everything is relevant because they just record it all. So then if you don't have a way to like shunt some of that stuff off to the side or reduce its relevance to the current context, it just overloads the context window, right? Like, because you're just putting more stuff into the pile. We're better at sorting that stuff for its relevancy and, and assigning it into a place. Now, we don't do that. There's no intent behind that. It just kind of happens. Does that make sense? There's a whole fucking thing we could get into. All right. Your reminder, I will be back 5 p.m. Eastern today. I will also, nothing makes sense. True. No one's in charge. Nothing makes sense. Don't take it so personal. Don't let the bastards get you down. Drink some water, eat some food, take your meds if you've forgotten. Always remember that Shoggy loves you. So do I. Go have fun.